Riddle, UFO and deduction. As always, on Tuesdays, Inspector Goodwin reported to Police Commissioner Simon on the progress of the investigation of the most difficult cases. By the end of the first hour, from an excess of strong coffee and completely drowned in dense clouds of smoke emitted by the Commissioner and his own smoking pipe, Goodwin stopped thinking and mentally prayed for help. It did not take long. The door swung open with a bang, and Sergeant Funt flew into the office, waving a scrap of newspaper. "Sensation, Commissioner," he yelled from the threshold. "Aliens are stealing our people. Soon we will be investigating in space. Hooray." The inspector muttered quietly, greedily inhaling the fresh air that burst into the cramped closet. "Ah, you are here too," the sergeant rejoiced, with difficulty making out Goodwin's figure in the gray fog. "Are you surprised too?" he continued shouting, misinterpreting the detective's exclamation. "Calm down." Commissioner Simon impatiently interrupted the stunned sergeant and, rising from his chair, slammed the door. "What exactly happened?" the commissioner inquired. "Nothing special," Funt responded sarcastically. "The usual thing. Bad guys from Alpha Centauri wander around here day and night, quietly drag people away, and then, you see, pollute our native near-Earth space with their damn plates. It's all clear." Goodwin sighed, rubbing his temples. The sergeant has been reading his favorite newspaper scandals and secrets again. No, Funt retorted triumphantly. "This is exactly what was written in your favorite newspaper." He thrust a yellowed scrap of newspaper under the astonished Goodwin's nose. Indeed, the detective even opened and closed his eyes several times to see better. "This is a page from the Observer, the most serious newspaper in the city, but I don't remember this issue." "And it's not surprising," Funt explained condescendingly. "The entire print run of the newspaper was destroyed at the very last moment on orders from above, but my friend at the printing house managed to save a scrap of one of the copies. And although everyone was ordered to keep quiet, for a good reward, he handed the sheet of paper with the article to me." "Well, okay," the commissioner said conciliatorily, clearly intrigued. "Read what's written there. It's high time you listened instead of making stupid comments." Funt was delighted and, turning to Goodwin, added, "Listen carefully, Inspector. This is not a case about petty thieves." Having cleared his throat, the sergeant solemnly brought the newspaper sheet to his eyes. "A secret report from the Ministry of Defense. The Flying Dutchman in space. An abandoned flying saucer has been discovered in orbit. Aliens only abduct bald people. An escape to nowhere from a space prison. What's that like?" Funt was clearly proud of the effect he had produced. "But these are only headlines. Listen further." He buried his nose in the newspaper again. "Exactly 3 weeks ago, mankind was faced with the most amazing mystery in its entire history. Our correspondent learned about this after having incredible difficulty obtaining a copy of the secret report from the Ministry of Defense to the President. Here are excerpts from this super sensational message. On March 11th, the shuttle reusable spacecraft, with 3 astronauts on board, was making a planned flight in a given mode at the request of our General Staff and some special services. At 7 a.m., an unidentified flying object was discovered in near-Earth orbit, showing no signs of life and not responding to signals, an attempt to approach. So, here I will skip the description of how our guys got inside." Funt turned the page. "Yeah, here it is. Not a single living creature was found on board the UFO, except for an unusual purple, cubic mold. In the farthest, oval cabin, apparently, 10 captive Earthlings were kept. In any case, scraps of a note written with an ordinary ballpoint pen hung on the wall of the cabin. Also floating in the air were someone's size 45 socks, a cookbook, and a Panker ballpoint pen connected to the wall with a thin string. In a secret drawer under one of the beds, 27 high-power charges from an unknown weapon were discovered. Here is the surviving text of the note. We, 10 Earthlings, were abducted and taken away on an alien ship. The principle by which we were selected remained unclear, although the only thing that unites us is the complete absence of hair on our heads. The first 3 days we communicated only with robots, but today, therefore, despite that we decided to escape, we took our weapons. Goodbye. What will you say now? The sergeant threw the newspaper on the table. It's just creepy. Does it say for sure that all the abducted Earthlings were completely bald? Asked the commissioner, involuntarily stroking the impressive bald spot on the back of his head. See for yourself. The sergeant pointed his finger at the newspaper. Yeah, Simon muttered calmly, tearing himself away from the article. These journalists always exaggerate everything. I don't think we are in any serious danger. Besides, he lit a new cigar of monstrous size. It seems to me that those bad guys from Alpha Centauri no longer alive. Most likely, Goodwin suddenly came to his senses, driving away the clouds of smoke from his long-suffering head. They did not exist at all. And this friend of Funt's is a great joker. And besides, he made good money on the sergeant's gullibility. Why didn't Inspector Goodwin believe the newspaper article? Answer to the riddle. You don't believe your favorite newspaper. The commissioner looked slyly at Goodwin. I usually believe it, but not on April 1st, and this material was supposed to come out on that very day. Judge for yourself, said Goodwin. The reporter says that the encounter with the saucer took place exactly 3 weeks ago, and from the report of the military, we learn that this event happened on March 11th. Count 3 weeks from this date, and you get April 1st. But that's not the main thing, he continued, stopping Funt with a gesture, who, his eyes bulging, was about to object. By the way, your cigar has gone out, he remarked to the commissioner frozen at the table. The main thing, the inspector repeated, is something else. If we are to believe the reporter, the note from the bald captives from Earth was written with an ordinary ballpoint pen, and in zero gravity it is impossible to write with a ballpoint pen.